People don't realize that new cars have way more problems than old cars do. And what we've seen is, my personal experience is, I have a car that I've had for almost 2 years now. Brand new 2022 Yukon Denali. Engine failed, it's been in the shop.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and today we're going to be talking about awful new cars that we have on the market right now. I know you waited for it, so you have it. Buying a new car used to mean peace of mind, but not anymore. Today's vehicles are more expensive than ever, packed with complex tax that often breaks down within the months. From touchscreen failures to transmission issues, many drivers are shocked by how unreliable their brand new cars have become. Dealerships promise warranties, but getting repairs can take weeks, and loaner cars aren't always available. Meanwhile, monthly payments are skyrocketing, leaving buyers stuck with debt and disappointment. Some even say older cars were built better and lasted longer. In a world where quality should be improving, many feel new cars are downgrade, discussed as an upgrade. So guys, let's dive into the video and watch.
It's funny to me, as cars get newer and the technology gets newer, I think they're actually going to get worse. This Mach-E does not have a door handle. This is a door handle, right? You pull in it, the door opens. This has a push button. Door opens. I have one problem with that. It snowed a little bit last night, probably 1 or 2 inches. So my avalanche is here outside, right? So the Mach-E would have a push button somewhere around here. You're going to have to find the push button, right? Instead of just pulling the door open, right? Wow, that actually worked. So the push button would be somewhere around there. I guess if you own an EV, you should just park it in a garage. If you don't have a garage, don't own an EV. Because this is a push. That latch has to disengage. So what happens when it's iced over? You're not going to be able to just pull the door open, right? It's not going to be a simple process like that. This is a grab handle, so this is only going to work after the door has unlatched. If that mechanism gets frozen in there, you can't tug it open. There's no mechanical release to open that hint. Like, this is not going to get mechanically released from the outside like this is, right? You pull this unlatch button. This button is undoing that latch in there. Just wild.
People don't realize that new cars have way more problems than old cars do. And what we've seen is, my personal experience is, I have a car that I've had for almost 2 years now. Brand new 2022 Yukon Denali. Engine failed, it's been in the shop, and guess what? The engine's been on back order for well over 45 days now. So clearly it's a known problem. My point is that you cannot guess or determine that just because something is new, that it's not going to have recalls, failures, or challenges throughout the process of you owning it. My best recommendation is to be able to subsidize these fixes moving forward by protecting yourself and building it into your budget up front, that you're going to have a cost of ownership involved with fixes and repairs across the board. So just because it's new doesn't mean it's going to be more trustworthy or reliable.
3 worst brand new cars that you can buy today. Brand new off the showroom floor. Do not buy them. My name is Rick Dyer and I'm the king of cars. Don't underestimate the power of knowledge. I own a mechanic shop, a couple of car lots, and an import company. So I know what I'm talking about. And I know some of you may say, oh, Rick, I have this car and it's lasted forever. Well, you should play the lottery because you're really lucky. Don't forget to like, comment, tell me what you think. Number 3, the 2024-25 Mitsubishi Mirage. They only start at $16,995, but as soon as you drive off the lot, they're worth $7,000. Ultra unreliable. They did improve the styling though, I will give them that. Don't waste your money or time. They do come with a 100,000-mile warranty, and I guarantee you will use it. Number 2, the 2025 Nissan Versa. They still have not changed the transmission, and they're boasting about their CVT transmission on the website. Are you kidding me? Absolutely do not buy a new Nissan Versa. And number one, don't be fooled because they have some cool colors. They offer cool colors to get your mind off of what you're buying. As soon as you leave off the lot, this $20,000 car becomes $10,000. In fact, just go and ask them to trade it back in a week later. You will be shocked. So say no to the Kia Soul. They come at number one. In 2025, they're still having engine issues. Get it together, Kia.
Is it just me, or does anyone else just not care about any new cars anymore? Like BMW coming out with, the new 3 Series, the new 5 Series, they just don't do it for me. Even the G80, it's a really nice car, but it just doesn't do it for me like some of the older cars do. Are we just getting old, or are these cars not good? I mean, like the new supercars and everything with hybridization and electrification, EV cars are garbage. I've owned them, and I think they're stupid. I also live in a place where, it gets -5 outside, so they're basically impractical. I understand them, but I think they're dumb. But cars like, E46s and even the E90s, the RS34s back in the day, man, those cars were so cool. Now they're destroyed or super expensive, just like all the new cars. But, price point aside, which price points for these new things are ridiculous, I'd rather go out and buy like a 10, 15, 20, even maybe 40-year-old car than most new cars. I mean, I'm in a 2007 Lexus right now. I'd rather have this long term than most offerings from new manufacturers. Of course, there's new cars that I like, but then it boils down to price point for them, which is, crazy. Is it just me, or are these manufacturers just not making the greatest of stuff? Even the new M2, I'm still having a hard time not hating it, but just I don't love it. I never hated the car, I just never loved it. The old one. What went wrong?
These are the top 5 vehicles that I would avoid buying if I'm at the Chicago Auto Show. The number 5 car on the list goes to the Lexus GX 550. I know this may shock some people because this is one of the best looking cars of the show, but when we're looking at an $80,000 vehicle, I just expect more from the interior. The interior, don't get me wrong, is fine. It feels like a Toyota, but we are talking about an $80,000 price point. We combine that with the fact that you just can't get a hold of one of these right now, and the markup on these are insane. I would wait to buy one of these cars later into 2025 or 2027. The number 4 car on the list goes to the Acura MDX. Now, I want to remind you, this car is $70,000, but it doesn't feel like it. When it comes down to it, the Acura has fallen in reliability over the last few years. The interior just feels cheap. I understand people like the physical buttons, but this is physical button overload. It feels like a Honda, and we're charging $70,000 for an SUV. I'm sorry, you gotta do better. And the number 3 car on the list goes to the Nissan Pathfinder. Now, I picked this beautiful paint because I think this is one of the best ways it looks, but when it comes down to it, we're looking for an off-roading SUV. I just think there's better options. Now, the interior looks fine, but we are talking about a car that is getting into the $40,000 and $50,000 price point. So overall, I just don't think it's the best value. If I'm looking for an off-roading SUV, a Land Cruiser, a 4Runner, and the Santa Fe would be a better option. The number 2 car on the list goes to the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now, the interior looks great. These quilted seats look awesome. The screen looks great. But when it comes down to it, there's 2 major issues with this car that are unforgivable. First off, reliability. It's a Jeep. It is less reliable than most German cars. Second thing comes down to resale. Now, if this was a luxury SUV, that'd be different, but we're talking about a Jeep. And the number 1 car on the list goes to the Buick Encore. Now, I want to remind you, this is $36,000, but it feels like a car that was made 10 years ago. Buick tried to do some things, but just cheaped out in the worst possible ways. For example, you get this beautiful sweeping screen, but only this much real estate. This is a $36,000 car. I don't see any reason why you would buy this over a Toyota RAV4. I would not invest my money in this car. I would wait Buick's trying to do some really good things, but this
So
is
update
not.
on my brand new car that has left me broken down multiple times, even though I've only owned it 2 months now. I was back at the Mazda dealership getting work done again for the second time in like a week and a half. I did just realize something really interesting yesterday. When I first got my car, it had 100 miles on it, which was really weird for a brand new car. It was my third brand new car in a row I've bought, and none of them have ever had that much. But when I asked why, they told me because it's been test driven a lot for some reason. It was used for a lot of test drives, they said. But what I find crazy, and that I just realized yesterday, is that when I got my car, I didn't have any plastic to peel off. You know, when you get a brand new car, you like peel off the plastic off the screen and like where the window thing is and all that. This was my first brand new car that didn't have that. So it makes me kind of feel like maybe somebody had the car before me and returned it. I don't know. Service also mentioned to me when I took my car the other day that it was in there in September, which I bought the car at the end of November. So if it was there in September, I was not the one that took it there. That happened before I bought the car. Made it clear I don't want the car at all anymore. I bought this car. I spent the extra money on a nice, safe, reliable car for my kids. It is my mom's car, so I don't mind spending the extra money for a safe, reliable car. I don't want to have the chance of breaking down at all. It's not something I want to do with children. Manager at Mazda called me today and said that they will not be taking the car back. Other than keeping the car, my only option is to buy another car from them, sell my car back to them, trade my car and whatever, and they'll try to give me the best price for it, which we all know is going to be way under what I just paid 2 months ago. And on top of that, I would lose out on all the money that I've already spent on it. He's trying to assure me that the car is going to run perfectly fine when I get it back next week, but I'm not really sure I believe that, considering that the car's had so many issues, and I just got it back from service 24 hours before it had to go back in service for breaking down. Mazda's TikTok account has reached out to me, but they haven't done anything yet, so I'm not really sure what's supposed to come out of that. Also, I like to ask people when I talk to them on the phone to text me all of the information so that not only can I actually remember and read it again so I can understand it, but I can also let people know, like let my boyfriend know and whoever know. So when he first called me and was going over the whole like, they won't take my car back and my only option is to buy another car and blah blah blah, I asked him to text me all the info and he said yeah, and then he didn't text me, but he ended up calling me again later. So I asked him again to text me all the information, and I said, like, can you just text me all the information so I can pass it to others? And he said, pass it to who? Like, why does it matter who? That's crazy. Anyways, if anybody has any advice or anybody I should get a hold of or anything, or even just what your personal experience with something like this has been, please.
People ask me all the time, what is one car that you absolutely would never ever own or recommend to anybody? Well, I'm almost nervous to tell you because there's quite a bit of them on the road and we sell a few of them out of here. Now, the ones that we've sold or that I've, had a part in the transaction, I haven't heard anything negative. People don't bring them back like they're broken. I don't hear complaints about them. This is just because of my personal history with this car. And the one car that I absolutely hate more than anything is the Jeep Renegade. Why do I hate the Jeep Renegade, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you a story. I worked for a store in Brookville, Pennsylvania, and if you don't know where that is, it's up pretty close to where New York border is up there. I live in Fairmont, West Virginia. Why I worked there and why I did the commute, that's a whole nother topic for another thing, but I worked at a store in Brookville, Pennsylvania before. So we do a trade, and this lady lives in Washington, PA, which is about halfway between here and there. Now, I have to go from Brookville, PA, down to Washington, do the swap, take the car back down to Fairmont, and drive it back up to Brookville the next day. And why we did that, I still don't know why we did that. Just come to the dealership and do the swap like a normal car deal. Anyway, we did the deal. I drive down to Washington, pick the car up, we do the swap, everything's fine. Go back to my house, get in the car the next morning, and it is 15 degrees outside. It is very, very, very cold. I have a 3.5 hour drive ahead of me. Keep in mind, it's 5:30 in the morning and the dome light wouldn't go off. I'm like, okay, weird Jeep things. Shocker. I go to hit the button and I accidentally hit the sunroof button. So the sunroof opens. Whoops, oh, better hit the close button. Hit the close button. Why is it not closing? The sunroof's not closing. I drove for 3.5 hours in 15-degree weather on the interstate in a Jeep Renegade with the sunroof open. And what happens as soon as I pull into the dealership after this 3.5 hour drive? Well, just for shits and giggles, I hit the button and the sunroof closed. I have never wanted to set fire to a car so badly in my life. That's my story with the Jeep Renegade. I don't know if it's a bad car overall. I don't believe that every car is inherently bad or unreliable. It's really mostly how you take care of it. But that's why I'll never recommend a Jeep Renegade to anybody in my life. Follow me for more content like this. Spitting bars, selling.
Thank you for your likes, guys, and let's continue watching the videos. I do
A
appreciate
brand new
this.
Porsche could be one of the worst decisions you can ever do financially. But these are some of the best cars to buy used. Right here is a 2022 Porsche Panamera 4S. The reason these are so good to buy used is because of depreciation. This one brand new had a sticker of almost $138,000, and now you can get these almost at $100,000. So you can get a $40,000 discount easy peasy on these things. Again, it only has 11,000 miles, so they're super easy to buy used because they depreciate. See, and if you get a CPO, you'll have the warranty and everything. But I mean, these things are just, they're fast, they're luxurious, they're built well. Compare this to like a Range Rover or something that's just, or a BMW or a Mercedes. They're just not the same quality. And they're just a timeless design in here. But yes, I do get, there are some Porsches that are worth buying new. Like if they're GT cars or RS cars, yes, buy them new. They don't depreciate. Like you can get a 2016 GT3 RS and it's the MSRP of it was back, like now, 8 years later, you're still going to pay MSRP, which is crazy. Your Cayennes, your Boxsters, your Panameras, your Taycans. Taycans are huge to buy used because they depreciate so fast. Those can depreciate $100,000 in 2 years.
Car brand you would never buy and why?
My Fiat. I just never liked their body shape, never liked their cars. I'm not into super small cars, uncomfortable, way no personal space or anything.
Probably Volkswagen, just because I've never really heard great things about them, and I've always seen them have issues, so probably Volkswagen.
Probably Chrysler. I used to sell them, and I've owned 2 of them. I got lucky with both, but you never know what you're getting.
I would say Jeep, because I see more people with negative equity situations in those than any other brand. And that's the hardest thing to try and help overcome.
What car brand would you never buy from?
Nissan, Unreliable, transmission issue.
Hi guys, I bought a new car. I got the keys. And it's only right that I do car tour.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
I actually have a back seat and not just a purse holder. I'm so excited. I was like gonna do a whole like car video buying, but today I went up there and I was like, I'm just gonna look today. I'm gonna test drive. I came out with a car. Like, I was not supposed to be up there all day today, and here I am. But I have a new car. I was so excited. Vroom, vroom, who ready for a ride?
My horrible designer bag experience yesterday, and now I want to share my horrible designer car purchasing experience in honor of my car coming in 2 weeks. Don't worry, I didn't order it from the horrible salesman, but I want to tell you the story time. So back in March of last year is when I decided I wanted to start looking around for cars, but I was like hesitant on the whole TikTok ban situation because even back then, early 2024, it was still in the works and we started our pool. So it was just like not the best timing for me to purchase the car, but I didn't know what like the wait time was and my parents were in town and we didn't have anything else to do. So I'm like, let's just go test drive cars and you guys can tell me what you think. Mind you, I like my Jeep. I don't love my Jeep. There's a few things that get a little bit annoying for me, and it's also a teeny tiny back seat. So whenever I have kids or babysit my nieces, I can't fit the car seats in the back seat without pulling the passenger seat all the way forward. So it's just not a great family car. Plus I have the soft top, convertible top, whatever. And it is so loud on the freeway. Whenever someone is sitting in my car, we have to scream to have a conversation. Like the people in the back seat cannot hear the people in the front seat. So anyways, I love the Jeep. It gets me from point A to point B, but it starts to have a lot of issues. So I'm like, okay, it probably is time to get a new car, but we'll just like, I'm not going to rush it. So I schedule an appointment with someone. I've just been like texting the Porsche location and I find a salesman. He says we can come in and test drive the car. So I go in, I tell him that I really want to see the cashmere beige exterior with the light tan interior. I think a tan on tan car would be so freaking cool. And immediately he goes, ugh, that would not be a good color combo. I'm like, you're literally sitting outside the freaking royal purple Porsche right now. You're telling me that's a better color combo than a tan on tan? I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I'm like, oh, that's fine. I would love to see it. He goes, well, we actually don't even have any. I haven't even seen any because it's such like, it's like a new color. So we don't have any. I'm like, bold of you to tell me that you think it would look bad. You haven't even seen it in person. Anyways, we walk outside to the car we're about to test drive. Guess what color is right next to it? cashmere beige. It did not have the tan interior, but the car we were about to drive did. So I could literally open the car door and see them next to each other. I think it's beautiful. He keeps telling me it's going to be horrible, mind you. Anyways, we test drive the car. No problems with the test drive. I love it. We go inside. I'm like, what is your timeline for like a deposit? He tells me it's about 2 months and I can just do the deposit. It's fully refundable if we change my mind, but it will at least hold my spot. And in Utah at the Porsche dealership, it's like 3 years to get like any sort of hybrid vehicle. So I'm like, okay, like I'll put the deposit down. It's fully refundable. That's fine. He makes me feel horrible about my color choice, by the way. So he tells me that I can still change it to a white exterior if I want. And I have about, at the time, I think it was like a month and a half before all decisions needed to be finalized. And then I couldn't change them anymore. And that's when like the car was going to start being made. So over the next month and a half, I am getting really, really anxious. We just finished our pool and I'm hearing a lot about this like potential TikTok ban. Like, you know how it started like earlier 2024. So I'm like, I don't know if it's the best time. And I text him, I'm like, hey, is there any way I could get the first hybrid 2025 and just like push it back? I don't need my money back. Could I like hold that spot? Like, I just don't feel like it's the best time for me to purchase a vehicle. I didn't tell you much about my job, but I do work and on social media and TikTok is like my main source of income. And I just feel like it's better if like we hold off on that. He sends me back a text, guys. He's like, you really think those dummies in New York City are going to ban the app? Carol, I know we're already back, okay? And it was like literally 12 hours, but they did ban the app. I hope I was in his thoughts when he heard about that. And he felt really bad that he sent me that message. I responded to him. We went back and forth for a while. And my final text to him was, easier said than done when it is not your job. Send. I do not want this car right now. Like, you can hold my deposit, but I do not want the vehicle. No response. Okay. So I call back the dealership. I get someone else and I say, hey, I just want to make sure that this car is not going on. They end up texting me. They say the same thing. They're gaslighting me. They're like, you really think this app is going to be deleted? Like, no. And I'm like, I do not want this car. Okay. He ghosts me too. And I've had 2 different sales reps at the Tampa location completely ghost me. Another week goes by. I text one more time because I knew this was the week that everything had to be finalized. And I don't know. I was just like, one more time. I said, I know everything needs to be finalized. Like right now, I just want to make sure like the car is not happening. No response. Radio silent. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I get a call from Mr. Sales Rep. He says, hey, great news. Your car just got to Florida and will be to our location in just a few days. I said, sir, the car I told you I did not want anymore. He was like, I was like, I told you multiple times that I did not want the vehicle, that you could hold my deposit and put it for a different date, and you did not respond to me. This is so beyond frustrating. I want my deposit back now. Like, I will not be ordering a car from you. Mic drop. I don't know what he was thinking. Anyways, he goes, I don't know if we can get that back, like, just because the vehicle's already on its way. I said, no. You told me that the vehicle could be there. I could see the color combination. And if I really hated it so much, because he was telling me I was going to hate the color combo so much, that I didn't need to take the car and they would hold my deposit until that car got sold off of their lot and then they would be able to give it back to me. I said, that's fine. If you will not give me back your money, I'm happy to talk to your manager and tell him that you did not respond to me. And then he calls me 10 minutes later and says, don't worry, I just talked to my manager. How can we get that deposit back to you? Then he starts trying to sell me on a lease. And I, at the time, no, I'm not going to lease it. I'm not going to buy anything from him, but I still want to see this color combination in person because he made me worry about it so much. So he goes, don't worry about it. I know when it's coming in. I will take so many pictures and videos for you because I think I was like out of town or something. And I was like, no problem. If it doesn't sell, I still want to come see it in person and maybe we can talk about the lease. Again, knowing I'm not going to do it, but I just want to see the car. He never gets back to me. So I text him a week later when I'm back in town and I say, hey, is the car still there? Like, can I come see it? And he goes, oh, we sold it. I'm like, give me back my deposit. What the hell? It was crazy. Okay. And so he finally ends up giving me back the deposit. I then tell him again, I'm like, this is so frustrating working with you that you, 1, got the car, that you, 2, didn't take any pictures or videos of the vehicle like you said you would to show me the color, and 3, you told me you would text me when it got there so I could come see it in person, and you didn't. So I was so freaking mad. At this point, I'm like, wait, now is the perfect time to order the 2025 version of the car. So I do some research on Google and I find a sales associate that has really good reviews at the Clearwater location. So I call him up, I ask for him. He literally, perfect angel baby, like so freaking nice. He says that he has seen the color. He thinks it's beautiful. He says it is like a little bit more unique, but he thinks it's like a perfect color combo for a 25-year-old girl. Like so fun, so bougie. All through the phone, this man helps me order the car through his dealership. and he's been amazing ever since. You guys, I'm so excited. Now the car is done being made and it is sitting, I don't know where, somewhere in Europe, Germany, I don't know, ready to be shipped via boat over to Florida and then driven down. I am so excited when something is wrong with my car or I need an oil change or something to pull up to the Tampa location. Hey, Carol, me and my car. You didn't get the commission, bro. Like, he treated me so poorly. It was wild. Guys, that's the story time on my car, and it should be arriving to the dealership while we are in Australia. And then I'll come home and I'll go get it. That was my unfortunate experience at a luxury car dealership.
Hello, motherfucker. Hey y'all, I'm just here to vent. I bought my brand new Kia Sorento in August 2024. Tell me why it's been 6 months and I still have no plates. I'm on my 3rd temporary tag. I refuse to go back for a 4th temporary tag because I hate them so much. Last time I spoke to somebody was in December, and they told me my plates would be in by January, and it's at the end of February and still no plates. I submitted a complaint to the DMV, the BBB, and I tried to get a lawyer to review my case, but I don't have money for a lawyer to look at the evidence. And I'm like, the evidence is I have no plates after 6 months. So I should have just bought a Toyota. And I can't even trade my car in right now for a Toyota because I'm upside down. So I'm just kind of stuck in this situation. Buying a car is supposed to be, you know, happy, a joyous occasion. It's an accomplishment. But this whole experience has been tainted. So if you're in the Houston area and you're trying to buy yourself a Kia, do yourself a favor and do not go to the Kia dealership that's off of 45 near Alameda. Go somewhere else. Save yourself a headache and stress and anxiety. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Hey, thanks a ton for watching. I really appreciate all the likes, shares, and everyone who subscribed. It seriously helps the channel grows. If you're new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and stick around. I've got more videos coming your way soon. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.